Hey, Mega Moms. Jessica Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And I am actually remote today. I'm in Denver, Colorado, or
Evergreen.
yeah,
Evergreen.
like an hour away from Denver, Colorado. And I'm joined with my friend, Jenn Gingha. So we're going to talk about being a real estate agent in a small market and how we did that without being from the small market. So if you know anything about small markets, it's kind of hard to break in. They're normally a pretty tight knit group of people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're in Denver.
Yes.
And I just want to start this by saying I am so grateful to be in this house surrounded by women that are 7-figure earners. I'm actually going to be interviewing these other women today as well, and they run amazing investment businesses. I think one of them has like 85 properties. The other one flips around 10 properties at a time. I mean, it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. And she sold a very successful like plumbing and appliance company too. It's impressive.
She's run other businesses. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of plug that because I think who you surround yourself with matters. And I'm so glad that you're listening to this or watching this on our Facebook page or on iTunes, wherever you're listening or watching from, because it really does matter. I want you to look around at the people that you are surrounding yourself with on a daily basis. Look at your brokerage. Look at the agents in the brokerage. Look at your friend group. I mean, who are you spending the most time with? And that really does. They say the average 5 people, right, is your network is your net worth.
Yep. I'm a huge believer in that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we both feel like we are being challenged and leveling up, and we're bringing our own expertise to the table. So it's just such a cool atmosphere.
Yeah, I have gone to several big events. And by the way, I'm Jen.
Yeah.
And so I currently live in Wichita Falls, Texas. I am not from there. I just hit year 5 there, but I just hit year 3 in real estate. And I am not as cool as these ladies. I'm only a 6-figure income earner. I am not at 7 figures yet, but for year 3, I'm not doing too shabby for myself. And I earned a spot in this house. So that was pretty cool, getting the opportunities. And that's probably been the biggest thing I did this year.
Yeah. So we met in St. Louis a couple months ago, and just kind of by happenstance, and honestly, I think just by being good humans, right? You turned around and we talked and we're like, just join us, And we just hit it off right instantly. But then Jen told me, yeah, me and Jamie were going to meet up in Denver. I'm like, can I go? So that's the other thing I want to say. It's okay to ask to be in the rooms, even if, because I wasn't necessarily invited. Not that you guys didn't want me to come, but sometimes people just don't think, and that's the other thing. Don't take it personal. If you want to be there, you should ask to have a seat at that table.
Yes. Always ask to have a seat at the table, but also I think something that's really cool is once you start asking, you'll, I think, gain more courage and confidence in it. But also, if you're surrounding yourself with the right people, they'll also put your name in that room. Because I instantly texted Jamie and I was like, oh my God, I know exactly who we need to invite. Jessica. And then it's funny because then she's like, can I go? And I was like, well, I already invited you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And I just hadn't messaged you yet.
Oh, that's cool.
So I had already been like, you've got to meet Jessica, I was like, I just met her in St. Louis and I think she'd be a great, asset to this. And we could really hash some things out just in a small, intimate, connected space where we're sharing our goals and what we're lacking in and how we're all able to fill in those gaps and be like, oh, you need to do this or this or this. And then we're literally just handing each other our laptops. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So just here you go.
Yeah. So that's kind of the point of this podcast, really. I mean, we're going to talk about something that we feel like there's probably lacking of information in our industry, because most of the gurus that I hear of anyway, they're from a larger town. They're in a higher dollar market, area. They're averaging between 500 and a million. And maybe that's you, and that's awesome if that's you. But I know that there's still a lot of realtors out there that are in price points that are more similar to ours. And, the way you have to do business is a little different. Yeah, it's a little different. A lot of principles remain the same, but I mean, everyone has challenges, and there's just a different set of challenges to overcome. So we'll start with you, Jen. Tell us, you're not from Wichita Falls.
Yeah. So I am a military spouse, and we were stationed there, and our tent was actually not to stay there. We were only supposed to be there for about 2 years, and then COVID hit. But I ended up getting my license right before COVID hit as well. Like, I think like 4 or 5 months before it actually hit. And it affected
I bet you were like, crap.
Yeah, I went to, hey, I need to write 10 to 20 offers just to win an offer, because I was also writing a lot of VA offers. And yeah, it was a wild
What a way to be broken as a realtor.
I honestly learned the contract very quickly.
Yeah.
I wrote it. I was filling that sucker in so many times that I was getting pretty quick.
And what I love about Jen is, so 3 years, right?
Yep. I just hit year 3.
Okay. So she has seen a really amazing amount of success, and there's a lot of newer agents that listen to our podcast. I've been in the business for 21 years, and I will say, you all know, I say this all the time, I was a mediocre agent for 11 years. So it took me a while to really kind of figure it out. And maybe if I would have stayed in Stillwater, that would have been different. So when I first started 2 years in Stillwater, I sold probably like 20-ish houses a year while I was there. But the other part of that is there wasn't social media like there is today. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about this earlier about why social media is such a big part of our business. So I started my brokerage in 2015, and I saw crazy results that year. The year before, I was probably less than 10 transactions, maybe even less than that. And then in 2015, I was at, I think it was 68. So that overnight difference for me, I always attributed to being an owner. I decided to be a broker. And so I thought, well, it's because I took ownership mentality. But upon reflection, I actually think social media was the game changer for me. Just showing up, because I wasn't from my community. Mm-hmm. So I had to be this omnipresent realtor, and I was able to accomplish that with Facebook. And I don't know, was Instagram even a thing in 2015? I don't remember when that came out, but I started on Facebook.
Yeah, I started on Facebook too.
So anyway, I mean, so that I just want to say that to be encouraging that you can build your business on social media.
Oh yeah, I've only built my business on. So I also started on Facebook, and it was just me going into Facebook groups. So like, I didn't start my own Facebook group or anything like that. I wasn't that cool. I went into already established Facebook.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because that's an objection I hear. Oh, there's already Facebook groups out there, because I did start my own Facebook group, and mine has like 6,000. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't even know.
That's scarcity mindset.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know, like.
It's hard to grow a Facebook group anymore, but it can be done. I mean, so there are definitely some principles in there. In fact, I was just telling you, I think I'm going to add a whole module in my course about it, because I built 2 really 7-figure businesses from Facebook groups. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I wanted, because I've been on the owner side of it, and I'll tell you, nothing peeves me more
than people like me.
Than somebody coming into my Facebook group and saying, oh, message me.
Oh, so I don't do that. So I have never done the message me. I can very proudly say that. What I do is, when someone asks for something, I actually answer their question. I add value, and I do not, under any circumstances, slide into their DMs. And that alone has gotten me a lot of business. And I know that that's more, because for me, I prefer to do attraction marketing. That's why I also don't door knock and cold call, because that is not my skill set. I understand my skill sets, and I leverage off of that. Mm-hmm. And I already can see all the other agents who have been, I messaged you. And let me tell you, all my clients who end up becoming my clients from those, they always say, why did you never message me? I said, because you needed to like me, know me, and trust me. Yeah. I said, in the moment I started just simply answering your questions, you knew I wasn't just going after you as a client, because you could have had an agent already, or you were honestly just asking for a nail salon. Mm-hmm. And I go to all kinds of different nail salons, and I do get my hair done, and I do love to go shopping, and I like to do things around the community. And you want to become the mayor of your town. Mm-hmm. You want to be the go-to person. So people can also look up, like, I just closed a deal the other day, and she simply just went into a Facebook group and looked up suggestions for realtors. She's like, honestly, your name was just mentioned so much. I just clicked on you. Then I looked you up, found you on all your social media platforms and was like, okay, that's who I like. She's like, and the other agents didn't really have a social media presence. And so therefore I didn't really know what to expect. She's like, but I watched a few of your videos and you were so direct. And we like that. We like just like get to the point. Do not beat around the bush. Like just give us an answer. and she was like that. That's how this particular client was, to, just get to the point. So I am guilty of sneaking into Facebook groups.
But
I do it tactfully. And I'm respectful of the admin. I am very respectful of the admin.
And that's what I think that's the point here. I want everyone that's listening to take note of that. If you are looking for business, go into your local community Facebook groups. It doesn't even have to be a real estate Facebook group. It can be, it could be a real estate Facebook group, but it could also just be like a mom's group or, a neighborhood group. And the thing is, what you're doing is when you comment, and I like doing it that way because versus just messaging or saying, I'm going to message you, because you're not having this veil up of the information. Instead, you're commenting in everybody else. Cause I know you might be like me sometimes. I'm like, ooh, what do they say here? Especially if it's something controversial. So I'm in the comments and I'm a lurker sometimes. So, so then they can see exactly what you said and be like, oh, she's always showing up.
Yes. And the consistency.
Yeah. And I noticed that within all of my groups. I notice who is posting often. I notice who is commenting often. And I also always can spot if there's some sort of strategy behind it. And I guess the flip side of that is if you want to be in control, own the group.
Yep.
Because I can delete and block. Yep. And I do.
Yep.
Just because I know how much work it takes to run a group.
Yep.
And so that's the other thing. If you are going to run a group, be committed to showing up, be committed to monitoring it, be committed to making it a safe space. All of the groups that I run, that's like one of the main things. I don't want any like hate speech. I don't want anybody bashing each other. I don't want it to be a pity party place. So I'm pretty strict on my rules and we abide by them,
Yeah. A lot of my Facebook groups that I post in are just my Shepherd Air Force Base pages. We have a neighborhood page, but it's ran by a couple of other agents. And honestly, they don't let me post in it. And it doesn't bother me because pretty much everyone in the group is already my client. So I don't care, and
you should start your own.
Well, I have thought about starting my own, but that's why I transition to TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah.
My TikTok is way more for me. I have created, so I treat my TikTok like a Facebook group.
Right.
And that changed my TikTok account in a very positive way. And it grew a community of where I became, so I was struggling getting into Facebook at this point because all the agents had kind of learned the tactic. And although I am still really grateful that people do search my name and then it will pop up. And I'm still very grateful for all my clients who still recommend my name when someone's like, looking for a realtor, moving to the community. And I always, heart it. And I always say, please look me up on my socials. Here they are. I would be honored to work with you, but I do not private message people. Please reach out to me if you'd be interested in moving forward. And I put the ball in the client's, court. And honestly, a lot of them prefer that because they're like, oh, well, she didn't hound me.
It's different. Something that's different.
Yeah. It's be different, stand out. So what I did is for my TikTok, so I've only been on TikTok for a year now. And once I started, go ahead.
Okay. So the TikTok thing, she's been such an inspiration to me and I'm still not showing up consistently like Jenn is, but so she changed my mind on TikTok. I was off it because of China.
That's okay.
But anyway, no, I'm like, they have my dad anyway. So it's, okay. But yeah, so I decided to get back on it and she's like, Facebook became not what it was. It used to be like, my friends and family, I would post to connect with my friends. I could show up there and, have a rant or just talk about my day or, it's just like kind of like a vlog about your life. And so she's turned her TikTok into that. So you should follow her, by the way. I maybe not with kids around.
Oh yeah, I do have colorful language. Not all my videos are colorful, but
she's
I'm
what do you
colorful.
say? She's feisty.
I'm a little spicy.
Spicy.
I'm a little spicy.
But
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, so you treat your TikTok like it's a Facebook community. So how do you do that?
So, like in Facebook groups where you essentially, it's much more of an open forum and you're actually being truthful and honest. And I actually like, like if I'm filming, you'll see a lot of my videos. I'm kind of like leaned in. I am very casual. I don't always have makeup on. I don't always have my hair done. I just show up as Jenn.
Yeah.
And that means not every day is perfect. And that means I share my losses on there. I share when clients don't show to my meetings. I share when I'm stood up. I share when I lose a contract. What did I learn from that?
So being in a small town,
yeah.
Do you ever, I get nervous about posting specifics because I have posted a few times on TikTok on selling Southeast Kansas is my handle on TikTok for my real estate business. And there has been times I've posted about, a client's offer being accepted or just random things, that has happened in real time. And agents in my market are watching it, and I've even had them like contact my clients. One of them was like, I can't believe that Jessica talked about your offer being accepted. I didn't say their last name, I said their first name.
Oh, I don't mention names ever.
But I did say first name, and I mean not
I didn't even say a first name. I say no names at all. I always say I have a client.
Okay.
So I do. So
I am
so I never say names.
But they were like, "Oh, we don't care." Like she was giving us good news,
Well, so because
they were crying, excited. Yeah, and it was like me. It was they were on speakerphone, and I let them know. But anyway, but go ahead. Yeah.
So I do. So I work with a lot of people because I work with a lot of military members. They're very private.
Okay.
So and also let me just tell you, please stop posting photos with the sold sign at the title companies.
I still do that,
girl. We've got to get more creative. I
do it with a story sometimes.
You got to have a story. Whenever you post, think to yourself, did I add value to anyone's life? And that's what I think. When I am posting about a client, I am saying, hey, my client reached out to me from my TikTok channel and they were able to binge my page. They were able to watch what my buyer's presentation was going to be or what my listing presentation was going to be, or they saw all my favorite food places where I got my nails done, my hair done, they know that I run a coaching program. They know that I'm running a micro team. They know that I've been an agent for 3 years. They know I'm a military spouse. I poke fun at being a pilot wife. I make fun of myself, or I make fun of my princess pilot. My husband is on my channel, but doesn't know, and I always will be like, don't worry, this one will go viral because my husband's not on social media, but you guys always make my husband go viral, again, when you kind of now, do I share my deepest, darkest secrets on TikTok? Absolutely not. Do I give the absolute nitty gritty of a transaction? Absolutely not. And I do try to share about like I will do fun little, we call them B-rolls. So it'll just be, say like we were videoing from here, but I would take out the audio sound and I would add a song over, and then I would write on top of it like, hey, just masterminding with 7-figure earners, because that intrigues people. Like, whoa, how did you get in the room with there?
Yeah.
So that's your B-roll content. So the days that you don't want to post, you should have just basic, boring videos of you just going throughout your day, putting your makeup on, or
it's so simple. And I think some of us get in our head about it. Yeah. Well, also, I know for me, for a long time, my camera roll now is filled with all this stuff, right? The B-roll. And I've even done like an album, dedicated to it. So I can quickly go to my B-roll album, pull what I need to, which, by the way, that's a good tip. If you keep that, then you'll never be without B-roll or selfies. But I would tell, like, this limiting belief would be like, no one wants to see me get ready. Like,
you'd be surprised.
Do people care?
People will literally, it's one of my clients has requested, why do you not do OOTDs? And for those who don't know, that is outfit of the day.
Yeah, she inspired me to do that.
Yeah, and I was like, you would be surprised how many of your clients are just simply curious on what in the world will you be wearing. And you know why they want to know? Because they want to know the comfort level of what is it going to be like when you show up. Am I going to show up in a business suit? Absolutely not.
Right.
Because that doesn't fit my clientele base. Even for my $500,000 houses, I'm not showing up in a business suit because I have connected so well with my clients. I get to show up as myself. Now, am I going to show up in sweatpants? Absolutely not. I'm still professionally dressed, but it makes them feel more comfortable because actually a lot of women will be like, well, what are you wearing to this? Like what
I've never had any client ask me that.
Yeah, I have actually, it is a very common question I get. And I don't know if it's because I work with a lot of military families and they're traveling in.
Right.
And so I'm like, hey, you are traveling. Just come as you are. I don't care if you're in workout shorts. And then in the summer, because it is so hot in Wichita Falls, I do have to tell people we can only see houses at this time. And we need water, we need snacks.
Are you bringing those?
I do. I actually bring a cooler of waters, juices, snacks. And let me tell you, I've got kid appropriate snacks. I do gluten-free snacks and dye-free snacks because you never know allergies these days. But also like clients are coming in from all different types of environments and their bodies cannot handle the heat that we have.
Yeah.
And I have even gotten sick on showings and I now know my limitations of, okay, in July and August, I actually can't show homes between 11 and 6 p.m. because I will physically get ill, but my clients get ill too.
Right.
It is an all around thing that we are not showing houses. It's over 100 degrees.
Right.
And it's just miserable.
Well, and I wanted to make sure everyone knows that Jenn has actually seen results. So you may see some people talking about, oh, I have 100,000 followers on
that means nothing.
Or I don't know, whatever, name the claim. But I want to know what was the result, because when you're a real estate agent, 100,000 followers in another market doesn't really help much. I mean, maybe a referral, but and the other thing is you don't have to have that many followers to even get results. So how many followers do you have? And then this last year, what results did you get from your TikTok?
So I'm at like 4,700 followers,
which is, I mean, that's great, but
but it's not an obscene amount,
and it tracks because like you're consistently posting, and I think that the followers you have are genuinely interested in you.
So I will say for me, so in 1 year of posting, my biggest success has been actually referrals from other agents. And I need to go back and look at my list because I actually just did this, but I think I either have like 8 or 11 closings just from TikTok in my first year.
Roughly commission amount.
Oh, I've made 6 figures from TikTok in my first year of TikTok. And guess how much I paid?
0. Yeah.
And this comes from someone who wasted $30,000 on Facebook
in a small town. Because I think that's the other limiting belief, at least it is for me.
Yeah.
Is like, there's not people on TikTok in my area, but there actually really is. And I know that because TikTok connects your contacts. I'm like, I don't want it to connect my contacts because I don't want them to say Mega Mom page. People keep telling me I need to combine them, and you actually do. You speak to real estate agents and clients on the same one. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
I've had it segmented for so long.
Yeah, well, that's like
that's another level question. But
you're gonna have some people who are gonna say you need to have a separate one for your coaching program and you need to have a separate one for your clients. But what's ended up happening is I ended up randomly attracting agents.
Right.
And that did help me grow my sponsorships with EXP unintentionally.
By the way, how many about that?
Well, girl, I feel like it kind of
prospects. Let's say that.
Okay, prospects over 30.
Yeah,
and they'll come around.
Yeah.
But I do one of my brand new agents today, she's actually from TikTok and she's texting with me and she's getting all the brokerage stuff signed up. And I have added several agents to my sponsorship through TikTok. And again, it's free.
Yeah.
It is my time, but that time I have configured, it saves me time. 97% of buyers are online now. So
and she points people to her TikTok to be like, hey, watch my buyer video, watch my listing video.
Yeah. And so they already know who I am. So when I do get with these clients and I'm doing like the buyer's consultation, I'm like, so like, who here on this call knows me, and the husband's like, I don't know, my wife picked you, and the wife's like, I already know everything about you, and she's like, I am ready for your consultation. I've even gotten a buyer. I closed February 13th on a buyer who saw me on a live and I was doing a buyer's consultation. I had a ton of agents on there just watching how I do a buyer's consultation. a client hopped in, and then she ended up becoming my buyer. And 2 months later, we're now closing on this house on February 13th. And it was just on a live that I was doing. And you just never know, because for me, and I'm not saying it doesn't work, I have no passion and desire to make 100 phone calls a day to people who have no idea, who can like me, know me, and trust me. When someone goes to my social media, they are going to know I'm spicy. I don't have to pretend who I am not. I am not having to win them over. I have already won them over. That is the whole point of attraction marketing. Yeah. You are going to then be able to work with your ideal client. And guess what? That makes you a lot happier. And now you're going to have happy, positive, energy. And then you attract more people. And guess what? Those people then refer you. So it's
and
a
you're
domino
so
effect.
genuine, and I love that about you. I wish we could spend more time, but I want to wrap this with, and I didn't even tell you where we're going to do this. But,
it's good.
So Jenn actually has a program for new agents. It's a monthly program, and we used to have something similar, and that was monthly, but we've actually now changed ours into a course, and we have like maybe a higher level of commitment. It's more expensive. And so if you are in a position where that is out of the question for you, I would say Jenn also provides amazing value. Do you want to tell them about your program?
Girl, you make me cry.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Tell us about it. You're going to make me cry too. I don't know why. It's okay. We got it.
That's really sweet of you.
Well, yes, of course. So I don't remember what the program name is called.
So it's called Thrive Legacy Community.
Do I want to pause for a minute? Okay, we pause for a minute so we could gain our composure. But so Jenn, you tell me a little bit more about your program. She's been licensed for 3 years. She's seen amazing success, like one of the top agents in your market.
I am. Yeah, I'm top. So for those of you who are not with EXP, I'm an icon agent, which means I'm top 2.8%. I did close 48 deals year 3, but I have always made 6 figures since my first year in real estate, and not just like mid 6 figures, like high 6 figures. And then I have continued to increase that income. Yeah. So something I noticed when I became an agent was I kept meeting agents who had been in the business for a really long time, and they were not on social media. They were not doing things to start their business. So I actually ended up teaming up with another gentleman named Mike, and he is part of my coaching business. And it's great because he still has that. He's got 13 years experience in real estate, but he has over 25 years military and also 20 years at IBM in the corporate world. And him and I together, we make a pretty good rock star team. Yeah. So I bring that new agent energy of like, I think sometimes people just forget it's so different now to start a business than it was 10, heck, even 5 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially with all the different social medias. So we created a program of like, what do you do as a new agent? So we literally have the basics of you're building a business. How do you even build a business? So I didn't have this when I was a new agent. So everything that I was lacking and then I was spending hours crying in front of my computer, looking up on YouTube, I essentially put that in a program. So it literally starts out with the very basics of how do you even write a business plan? And then how do we break that down into daily habits? And then we do 2 masterminds a month where we bring in different specialties to help you. But we hone in and focus on what are going to be your 3 different types of lead gen. Because as a new agent, you probably should do 2 to 3 in the beginning. And then you're going to figure out what your favorite is. Right. And you're going to figure out where your success is. And then we're going to hone in on that and really grow that. And so it's giving you, the agent, the option of what makes you happy. I have agents who do not want to be on social media, and that is their choice. And I'm like, great, what are other options? We can cold call, we can door knock, we can open house, and you can network, you can do business to business connections. Like there are still other things that you can do. So, let's hone in on focus on those. And then we give all the tools for that. So we have about almost 50 videos in the program. It's only $49 a month. So that's something I wanted to do too. Yeah. I wanted to be super affordable because as a new agent, you are broke.
And what I like, and this is one reason I'm bringing it to you guys or you ladies, we cover a lot of the foundational business buildings. And I definitely touch on a lot of these different things, but I feel like we have a lot of agents that have been in the business for a while now. They're building teams. Yeah. And I want everyone to know, like, if I believe in somebody, I'm going to bring it to you. And I think everyone that actually listens to this podcast and they're maybe faithful followers, you know that I'm often bringing in guest experts and sharing their programs. But I will say, like, Jenn, I don't know, she's just become honestly one of my closest friends, and we've only known each other since November or something. October. And she's so genuine, and so that's what I love, and she has the results to back it up. And you also have she has a lot of other expertise as far as background wise. She was a social worker. She has a lot of psychology knowledge and just how to deal with people. So I know you've actually had results from TikTok. She's actually had results from YouTube. She was just telling me she's closed 4 buyers, and she's only started her YouTube like last year, and it doesn't have a crazy amount of followers.
No, so, I have 81 subscribers.
I mean, like, but that, what a great ratio.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. So how can they find out more or enroll or whatever?
So actually, if you guys want to go to my TikTok, you can either find me on TikTok under Jenn Gingha, or I'm at Shepherd AFB Realtor. So Shepherd Air Force Base Realtor, but just Shepherd AFB Realtor. And I have a link in my bio, and it literally says, join my coaching program, Thrive Legacy. But also you can message me on TikTok, or you can just go ahead and book a call, and in the appointment, put in there, hey, I'm interested in a coaching program. Can you please tell me more about it before I join?
She also is a tough love. So I think we're like that. We're alike in that way. So go to her if you're like, I need somebody to kick my butt and to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
I
will say, if you come to me and, you know, I'm going to say, did you write your business plan? Because I've given you the layout. Yeah. And now once you've written it, I am more than happy to sit down with you and talk it through. Right. But I can't make your goals. No one can make your goals. And where you want to see yourself successful may be different than me. And where you see success and I see success, like my goals are different even from Jessica's goals. Like we have very different goals, but it doesn't mean we don't support each other and give each other tips and tricks and collab. But like, I could never write your goal sheet and you could never write mine, you know?
Right.
So the thing is, when you make that goal sheet and I spend time with you out of my day, which takes away from my family, which is my number one priority, if you're with me for 30, 60, 90 days and you have not even finished a business plan, and then I say, well, we can't implement anything because you won't even take step 1, that is not my problem.
Right.
And we need to self-recognize that
there's something deeper there.
Yes.
You know, whenever you do hit that wall, it's like really think about like, what is your roadblock?
Yeah. And I will tell people, like, if you are struggling that much to get started, I'm going to recommend, hey, you need to look for a local therapist or online therapy, and you need to do some inner work because I cannot get you to any next level if you don't have enough self-awareness and self-love to put in the efforts to even know that you can do this business plan.
Yeah.
And you have to look within. It is no one else's job to make you successful in life besides your own. But what's awesome is we have incredible women like this who we collaborate with. Yeah. And I'm sure stuff going to be like, girl, you did not even post on TikTok. You know, I mean, like, where are you at?
Don't make
hey, what's going on?
I didn't see a TikTok today. All right. Well, go follow Jenn on TikTok and you can connect with her there. Thank you for being with us today. And I will see everyone in our next episode.